Welcome to episode 109 of the Sports Marketing Machine podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Nizer. This is the third episode in the four-part series about meta ads. Meta Ads 101. Today we're talking about the hidden power of lookalike audiences and how to use them correctly to help you sell more tickets. So before I dig into what you're clicking on and how to click onto it and what have you, what are lookalike audiences? So let me back up a little bit more before we even get to that point. So Meta is very smart. Meta has so much information on you, just like Google. Google knows every single move that you make because you're on Google Maps. You're using Gmail, maybe you're using the Google browser. They know so much about you. Meta's just like that because you're on Instagram or Facebook, you're using Messenger, you're using the DMs versions on Instagram, you're watching videos, you're clicking on things, you're watching reels, you're following specific pages. Like Meta knows so much about you to the point they know more about you than you actually know about you, right? So you can actually harness that power, that information that they have by creating lookalike audiences inside of your platform. So here we are, adsmanager.facebook.com. So what we're going to do, we're going to build an audience and then build a lookalike audience. So remember, Meta allows you to build these lookalike audiences from a source audience. So in this case, we're looking at the 25% video viewers. We can build a lookalike audience of people who are very similar attributes than the people who've watched about 25% of some of our videos. If you're tuning in on Apple or Spotify and you're listening to this podcast, I will put the link in the show notes so you can watch the YouTube video to what we're talking about, right? So we know Meta can find these types of people who are very similar to the people that are in your source audience, in this audience bucket. So in this case, we're saying, hey, Meta, go find people who are very similar to the people who have watched 25% of our videos. Go find people who are very similar to people who have watched 15 seconds of our videos, or 50 seconds, or 50%, or whatever it may be. So I like to build lookalike audiences in different phases, in different buckets here. I love doing video viewers because you can target a warm audience of video viewers. If you find people who've watched 75% or 95% of some of your videos, they're consuming your content. They're basically watching a commercial about you. Goes the same for 50%. They're watching 50% of some of your videos. Once you get to 25%, that means they've watched a percentage, 25% of some of your videos. Then you can do a lookalike audiences of people who visited your website, a lookalike audience of single game buyers, or a lookalike audience of past season ticket holders, or mini plan holders, or even past group buyers. You can build lookalike audiences of a lot of different groups and targets and categories if you'd like. So it's not just all about demographics. We can use Meta's data here to find people based on behavior signals, engagements, purchases, all kinds of different things that they are doing. And that's what we're building in here, and we can target people that are specifically like that. So 1%, as you can see here on the screen, 1% means, hey, Meta, go find the top 1% of these people. Go find a lookalike audience of my top 1% of my 75% video viewers, or a top 1% of my 15-second video viewers, which is great. So you can build these lists out, and it is awesome for us to be able to have those in there and dig in. So, start with a high quality source. So in this case, we're doing video viewers, ticket plan holders. You can do that. You can do lookalikes of video viewers. These are high quality sources. I wouldn't do, hey, give me a lookalike audience of people who are following our Instagram account. That's okay. People who follow our Facebook page, that's okay. Why is that just okay, not great? Because not every single follower on your Facebook page or your Instagram page is going to see all of your organic content. Remember, Facebook doesn't show all of your content to all of your followers. It used to, it doesn't do it anymore. Same thing with Instagram. You really have to be on that page and engage with the page to be able to see all of the content or most of the content. So I wouldn't do a lookalike of Instagram account or Facebook page. I would absolutely do it a video. I would do it of your website activity, people who are going to your schedule page. Find a lookalike audience of those people who've been to your website, who've purchased tickets in a customer list. Create those lookalike audiences. So use the 1% for a higher match quality, and then you can kind of expand it to 2 or 5% as you start to do this. So let's go ahead and do this really quick. We're going to do, let's do video. Actually, let's go over here. We're going to click this 15-second one, and we're going to create another lookalike audience. So now I've got one from the data source of 15-second video viewers here. We're going to say they're from the United States because that's where we're located here. And we want to do the top, let's do 5%, right? So it went from a very small number. In this case, it was 2.8 million to now 13.9. You can create this audience of 5% of the people, the top 5% of the people who have consumed 15 seconds of some of my videos. I'm going to hit create audience. Now it's going to tell me there's 13.9 million people. Well, that's going to change when you start to build your ad, because you can say, hey, I only want to look at the lookalike audiences that are in my community, or in Yakima, Washington, or Albuquerque, New Mexico, or Sacramento, California, or Everett, Washington, or wherever. That's what you're going to be able to do, is create a lookalike audience and only target people in your community. So combine the lookalike audiences with really good targeting. So that's location and age, just like I was explaining. And then you can also do the exclusion, which was talked about in the last episode 108, where we talked about building exclusions. How you create exclusions. It's people who are past season ticket holders, mini plan holders. So you can do lookalike audiences and say, hey, exclude these people that are currently ticket plan holders. Just take them out. And they won't show ads to them as well. So that's really great to be able to do the lookalike and exclusion strategy together. When I set up ads, I tend to put them in a couple different buckets. And I say, okay, 50%, 25%, maybe 15-second video views. That's one ad set. And I'm going to put marketing dollars to that one. Then I've got my 75%, 95%. Maybe I'll put them in another one. That's a completely different one. If they're consuming 75% of a 30-second video, or they're consuming 95% of a 45-second video, they've been watching a commercial about us. So I like to just target them in a completely different ad set, just to see, hey, which one of these audiences are resonating? Are we watching more videos here? Are we getting more landing page views here? Are we getting more clicks here? And I can really start to see where it is. So if someone's watching 25% of some of your videos, they're a warm audience. But if they're watching 75%, that is a lot warmer. I would even call it a hot audience, right? So if you think about it in that category where people are, they're a cold audience, warm, and maybe even hot. That's how you kind of organize your ad. So if you're just promoting, driving awareness about your opening day or a promotion, and you're just letting folks know about it, and maybe there's a click to buy tickets in there, do different ad sets to see which ones are driving more landing page views. You're going to find, in some cases, the ones with the higher engagement, the larger video views, the people who have been to your website, if you're retargeting, those folks, they're going to outperform the people that are not as engaged. But it's still great to get that content in front of those folks, because they're starting to become more and more aware of what you have going on. So when you're testing these and you're running your ads, we're looking at what we're doing in this category versus this category. monitor the kind of the click-through rates, but more importantly, monitor the landing page views to see which ones are driving the traffic to your website. This will really give you an understanding of, hey, when I do this type of content, the people who are really engaged get excited and they pop on over to my website and they buy tickets. That's great, right? Using your low quality sources, that's a common mistake that I see. People who just visit your homepage. They may not be the best audience for you to be able to create a lookalike audience. Now, if they're people who went to your schedule page, people who've been around your website for a long time or bounced on there multiple times, that's a good audience to do. If they just bounce to your landing page, your main homepage, that may not be the best audience to target. That's probably in the warm category, or even so that would go in the warm category instead of like the cold or the hot. So be sure, the other tip here is updating your audiences. You got to update those. So inside of video views, every time you post videos, they're becoming a list in there that you can choose. Just make sure monthly you just add those to your video viewer list. So your 25%, your 15 and 75 and 50 and 95, that will automatically update the lookalike audiences. But the more videos, the more viewers you're giving Meta, the better chance that lookalike audience expands. So there you go, the hidden power of lookalike audiences, how to use them right, how to target people as you're creating ads, and even categorizing them. So just to recap, cold ones, these are people that are like 25% video viewers, maybe people who have bought like 6 years ago and you're trying to warm them back up. Warms are like your 25 and 50% video viewers, people who've been to your homepage of your website or ticketing page. Your kind of warm may also be your past ticket buyers. Let's create some audiences of them. Your hot ones, 75% video viewers, 95% video viewers. Those are hot. Even a lookalike audience of your past ticket plan holders, that would be a good audience as well if you're trying to get them to renew. So there you go. That's how you use lookalike audiences. If you've got any questions how this all works, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you sell more tickets and grow your fan base. Remember, if you were listening on Apple or Spotify, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to show you exactly what I was doing, how I was clicking, where I was going, and so forth. Until next time.